All right, I am live. What's up, everybody? Wanted to give you a quick word during this back end of the lunch hour here in Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana specifically. Up toward the north part of Indiana in the Chicagoland area. They're an hour back, so it's coming up on 12 o'clock. So it will be lunch hour for them in a few minutes. So I'm not going to be here long. I wanted to see who I can catch on for a quick word. You can, if you are on your lunch hour, you can, hey, what's going on, Ray? If you are on a lunch hour, you can grab your sandwich, soup, ribs, chicken wings, whatever you got. Bring whatever you got and gather around and let's hear the word of Jesus and make this a short one. I've got something I want to show you. And first of all, let me say there's a crisis going on in Haiti. It's amazing that you get very little news about it, but it directly involves some friends of mine, Andy and Ruth, who happen to be in the States, and they went through a big ordeal just to get to the airport, and they had to just get rid of all their luggage and just take a knapsack, and they had motorcycles going to the airport just to get out of the United States because of the chaos that's going on, protesters and people trying to overthrow the president, and it's crazy. They're setting fires in the streets, barricades, and all that kind of stuff. Again, you don't hear very much news about it, unfortunately. But and the only reason why, and I don't watch much of the news, but I did get an email from Ken Taylor, who's a man that invited me to Haiti. It was my first time in Haiti, and I ministered to those precious people there. They received me well, and I met Pastor Andy and Ruth, who they're directors of the Rhema school in Haiti. Ken oversees it, but he lives in Quebec, and that's a French-speaking part of the world, Haiti. And so Ken is called to the French-speaking part of the world. So anyway, the Andy and Ruth oversee the school, and they also pastor in a 1,000 member church that I ministered in. So, and I got really attached to them and the people of Haiti, the students there, 300 to 400 students in the school that I ministered to like 12 times in about a week. It was a real intense time there that we had teaching, and very hungry students, and they adopted me as a Haitian, so I feel really, really close to them, and so our prayers are with them. I prayed in our service yesterday for them, and let me bring up my comments so I can see. If you're on, if you don't mind, say hi to me. We got Ray on. Let me see. Okay. So anyway, we received an offering. If you want to know, just message me if you want to know how you can give to, let's see here. If you want to give an offering to Andy and Ruth, I didn't finish what I was about to say, or what I started. They were on their way to the airport. They had to get rid of all of their luggage because there were people that were barricading in the streets and not allowing people to get by. So they wanted to get their gasoline. So out of the motorcycles were taking them to the airport. It was a big ordeal trying to get to the airport, and then people were, the protesters were stopping them, wanting to get fuel from their motorcycles so they could burn tires in the street. It's just total bedlam over there. And so they convinced them along the way, they just had to pay off people. They convinced them to take money instead of their fuel because they needed to get to the airport, and they had to and they didn't want anybody to know they were going to the airport. So they had to kind of sneak out of the country. So they got rid of their luggage, and they only had knapsacks. So they ended up, bottom line, coming to the States. They came for a conference. Rhema is having Winter Bible Seminar this week. So they're having a conference this week. They're here for a conference and then some meetings that have to do with them being over the Rhema school there. So they had to get rid of all their luggage, so they're in the States, and they went to the Salvation Army just to get some clothes, because they're going to be here for, I think, at least a couple of weeks. So what we did was we received an offering for Andy and Ruth. So I love those people. They treated me so well when I was there. And I felt really attached. And I shared this yesterday that in a service that I ministered in, I ministered a message on righteousness, and they really received it. And there were people in the church that was having trouble with some of the things that Pastor Andy had been teaching them for 10 months. And he said that I summarized what he had been teaching in 10 months in that one message. Only God can do that. And you just can't make this stuff up. And I love sharing the gospel. And I really hope the Lord opens up a door for me to go back into Haiti. So that's a good segue into what I want to talk about very quickly today. This right here is called Osmo Mobile. It's a gimbal, they call it. And when I ministered in the church there, and also in the school, I got plenty of footage using this. I got it a day before I went to Haiti. And you basically put the phone inside of this device. And we use this. I'm going to use this as an illustration today. If I can. All right, here we go. Got confused there for a second. So we were able to record the whole message on Sunday that I ministered, and we got different parts of my time in the school, but one of the Haitians, who was a video guy, he did some filming for me. So here we go. So you just put your phone in here, and then you turn it on. Boom, and it kind of locks into position. Okay? I'll come back to this. I'm going to read some scripture to you first. So what does that have to do with the word? All right, let's look at. I'll put this to sleep really quickly. All right. Are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me, Jesus says. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. Now, Jesus wants us to watch how he does it and learn the unforced rhythms of grace. So, why do I keep saying, seem like the same thing, that we need to live under grace, not live under the law, not trying to work to please God, understand that God's already pleased with us? Why do I talk about grace so much and living under grace, and stop trying to earn your acceptance with God, that he already accepts you? Seems like I keep saying the same thing. We're righteous by faith, not by our performance. Okay? The reason why it's important is because all of us, and I spend a lot of time in the Word, and even though I spend a lot of time in the Word, I have to keep reminding myself. It's important to keep reminding yourself that you're under grace and to rest in the finished work of Jesus, and don't live by your self-effort. I have to remind myself constantly, because there are times when I get off. Even though I know these things, we have to keep hearing them. We have to keep the Word before our eyes. Proverbs says, let not the Word depart from your eyes. Keep them in the midst of your heart, for they are life. This is our life. This is how we live. We walk by faith. Faith in what? Faith in the finished work. Faith, the fact that we are righteous by faith. This is how we walk, okay? So, let me take a drink here. Got some very delicious chai tea. If you have an upset stomach or something, my stomach was last few days been a little upset. Just understand you're healed and depend on Jesus for your healing, okay? But I wasn't ill, just a digestive thing. Just my stomach seemed to be a little upset. So this little chai tea helps. Now, back to what I was saying. We need to hear the Word. For example, you get a little off. And the Word came to me, not way off. You can get way off if you allow yourself. But sometimes you get a little off. One day you got a lot of stuff to do, for example. A lot on your plate. And then you end up getting tired. That's a telltale sign that when you're tired, you're frustrated, you are wore out, stressed. Those are little telltale signs that you're doing it in your strength instead of doing it through Christ. All right? So you need a little adjustment. So this little gimbal here, sometimes you have to calibrate it when it's not behaving properly, because this thing it's designed to be sweatless. So when you film, it's just smooth. I'll show you how it works. Why are you not letting me? Okay, here we go. So there's an app attached to it. Really a cool device. And so once the app is attached, click this little button, says connect your device. Okay, now I'm ready to roll. So if I just hit the record button, okay, now I can move it and it should be really smooth. And it's amazing. Somebody said, who filmed that when you were in Haiti? Who did the filming for you? This was awesome. Who was this? It was my iPhone and this. And I mean, as long as you're not moving it real crazy, if you move it kind of smooth, you don't have to really do much. As long as you're not jerking it and you move it kind of slow, it's hard to have it jerk itself. I mean, it moves real smooth. So what's the point? Our life should be smooth. When we walk in these unforced rhythms of grace, our life should be just smooth. A rhythm, a flow, as we live in this dynamic, spontaneous, active, intimate relationship with Jesus. We just flow. But sometimes we get a little off. And so this device, it gets off sometimes, and what you do, there's a way to calibrate it. I won't get into that. I don't even know how to do it right now, but I know that there's a way to do it, and it's pretty simple. But so that's it right there. That's the whole thing that I want to share with you today. This is the reason why we need to keep hearing the gospel, hearing about the grace of God, hearing about righteousness and the love of God, that we don't earn God's love. He's already pleased with us. He already approves of us. We're accepted, because sometimes we can get, again, now way off. You can. I don't advise that. But sometimes you can get just a little off, and you need a little adjustment, because it doesn't take much to get off. You get off by taking your eyes off of Jesus. And so I took some notes on Calibrate, and the Calibrate, like when I'm calibrating this device, it correlates the readings of an instrument with those of a standard in order to check the instrument's accuracy. It correlates the reading of an instrument with those of a standard to check the instrument's accuracy. So what we do is, when you spend quiet time with the Lord and you spend time in prayer, not as a rule, but out of a love relationship, and you spend time with the Lord, if you find yourself a little off, you go into your quiet time, or just take a few minutes at work and read the Word and turn your eyes to Jesus, who He's the standard. We're not talking about doing something. I'm talking about seeing Jesus and refocusing and calibrating ourselves when we get a little off, get a little stressed or tired, burnt out. Okay. When you burn out, I mean, you've gotten way off. So, but don't condemn yourself. Just look to the standard. And now you look to the standard, and you're back with Jesus at the center, and Jesus at the focus. See, because when you another definition I found for calibrate is deviating from the standard, and Jesus is the standard. So you make the adjustments that you need to make, and the standard is Jesus. The standard is the Jesus and the unforced rhythms of grace that comes with walking with Him. That's the word for today. Kept it under 20 minutes. I took a little time to talk about the Haiti situation. And message me if you want to give to that if you don't know how to do it. Actually, I can tell you how to do it real quick. If you need help, let me know. But just go to the Summit Church app. Okay, if you live in the United States, you can get the app. And you can click the little give icon and follow the prompts, and you can give securely, and we'll send an offering to my good friends, Andy and Ruth. And so that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you soon.